Oh my goodness, hello, 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 my lovely ladies and my handsome gents, once again, or for the first time, to talk to the hand reviews. My name is Bo, the reviews lady, and oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this haul that I have to share with you today, because so much of it for me is a part of my history and from memories when I worked behind the counter in the late 80s through the late 90s, off and on. And a lot of these fragrances, they're like old friends, and I appreciate them so much. And another thing that a lot of people don't know about, like a few of these fragrances, is that you can get them more affordably now than when I sold them behind the counter. I didn't sell all these, but I sold a lot of them, and a lot of the other ones were around at the same time. So I did know them, I did try them, and I opened them yesterday. I had emotional reactions to a lot of them. One of them made me absolutely bawl. I mean, sob like the emoji sob. That, it was like that. My husband was there. It was a really weird emotional moment. I can't stop talking about it. And I saved that one for last because, you know, I don't want to mess up my makeup yet. I got a lot of fragrances to talk about. So there are a few that I've never tried before, and one in particular that sort of represents a new direction for me in my fragrance exploration, because it's a brand I've never tried, but I've heard so much about, especially from a lot of YouTubers, and it just has such a great name. I was really excited to get that one, and just to own it, I wanted it, and I have it, and I'm so excited to tell you about that one too. But I have stories about almost all of these. I mean, they're not like big groundbreaking stories, they're just personal memories. So please stay with me as I go through this emotional journey. I don't want to cry too early. Okay, here we go. Okay, ready? Okay, I don't know if I'm ready. I think this is gonna be, yeah, let me just segue. I think this is gonna be a long video. I got my tissue ready. By the way, well, I don't really want to tell you what I thought of these fragrances, but I will tell you, there was one that I was really disappointed in, but I'm not upset about it, because, well, and I'll tell you about that one when I get there. And I feel bad about giving any bad review to any fragrance, because I just appreciate the art form. It doesn't matter if it costs $1 or if it costs like $1,000 or more. I like the art form a lot. So I feel like, you know, I don't know. Anyways, okay, I'm digressing because I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. And as I talk about these, please write down below if you have any experience with any of these fragrances. Especially a lot of you who were around back in the day. And I want to say that most of these fragrances, though you can get them more affordably now than you used to be able to, it was exclusive. I'm not kidding. You had to come to the department store and ask someone to unlock the counter and pull it out so you could look at it, or even try the tester in some cases. These fragrances I'm showing you, they were that special, that exclusive, and they were never meant for a discount market. But now they've been passed on and sold, etc., etc., you know, this and that, like, you know, I don't know in every case what's happened, but they're still around, and I'm so glad they're still around, because a lot of them didn't make it. You know, a lot of great old ones I remember, they're gone. There's like no sign of some of them, but that's not what I'm showing you today. So here we go. I'm gonna start with one I know a lot of you still really like, and it is the feminine classic. It's such a wedding fragrance. Jessica McClintock. I know a lot of you remember this. I mean, I feel this is such an ultimate wedding fragrance. It is like really Lily of the Valley, but it's more than Lily of the Valley. I'm just going to spray it once because it's potent for a soft floral. Oh, oh my gosh, this just, I'm so delighted in this. And in fact, I think it might be slightly lighter than it used to be, which makes me like it more. I tend to like things that are just seem a bit lighter and fresher. That's why I tend to like eau de toilette over eau de parfum or parfum extrait concentrations. I just like that. I like aldehydic fragrances. I like to feel uplifted, I think, by a lot of fragrances. It's okay, not everyone does, but this one, oh my gosh, this one I was so delighted to find. And I never owned a bottle. And I don't even remember selling this one, but it was around at other stores when I visited, when I worked as a promotional rep for both Oscar de la Renta and for Guerlain. I had to go to different stores to represent them, and I believe Jessica McClintock was there then. So I never had a bottle of it, and I am thrilled to have it now. And this is absolutely, oh my gosh, it is so feminine. It is, oh, I was delighted. Absolutely delighted. Jessica McClintock. This is Eau de Parfum Spray, by the way, 3.4 ounce, 100 ml. Okay, you guys, so the next one I want to tell you, I'll show you what it is, and then I'll tell you why it's special to me after I do, is Eau Fraiche from Elizabeth Arden. I used to work behind the counter in the late 80s for Ultima 2, which was like an upscale Revlon. And on the other side of the bay, who I also helped a lot of times, was Elizabeth Arden. I was both sometimes. I had to help Elizabeth Arden. Anyways, this fragrance was out around then, and I'm going to spray it so I can describe it. Oh, it's a little bit hard for me to open. All I needed was some music. Hey! Woo! Oh, this is a great fragrance. Okay, so I have a specific memory of Eau Fraiche. Right when I first got my first job behind the counter for Ultima 2, it was so exciting. I was 19, and some of my first money, there was I think a gift with purchase for Elizabeth Arden, and I bought an Elizabeth Arden loose powder. And it was like a big day for me when I could buy a loose powder. I mean, it was just my mom and I. You know, my mom was the sole supporter. We didn't have a lot of money to be spending on this upscale makeup from a department store. So I was so excited when with one of my checks I could afford to buy this and then get this other gift that they had, right? It was this like tote bag and some other stuff. I forget what else. But there was a little mini purse spray of this Eau Fraiche. And I really got to know this fragrance. It is so unique. It is it's like a very light, I believe it's like a very light fougere. It's very fresh and very aromatic, but lightly so. Not strong aromatic like Estee Lauder used to, or Prescriptive's, no, not Calyx, or some others. But I feel if this fragrance came out today, it would be lovingly accepted in the gender neutral category. But I think this is a fresh fragrance. I've never smelled anything like it ever, and it still smells fantastic. Now, yesterday when I did spray it around, and my husband and I were enjoying this fun haul I have, I did get a little bit of more of a doll head towards the end of it, but I'm not getting that now. And see, the difference being that what would happen before is they would dry down to something like musty flowers, I think. You know, something along those lines. Musty flowers, not musk. It's not a harsh, it's very just gentle. It's just, Oh, it's fantastic. So I only recently found out that it existed. So that it still existed. Eau Fraiche from Elizabeth Arden. I just love this. Oh, I forgot to say that this haul is straight from FragranceBuy Canada. Not bad overall. FragranceBuy Canada. Woo! Okay, friends, I warned you this was going to be a long video, so I'm taking my time. So that's two great fragrances that I just right up in, yeah, I remember them. Oh, love, and still great, both of them. One slightly changed. Now I'm taking you to the land of a special fragrance with a personal history. I have a personal history with. It is Arden Fifth Avenue. So yeah, unfortunately this box came a little bit damaged, but I'm not going to sell it or anything like that. I'm just going to keep it, you know, so I don't mind. It's okay. I have to say, you know, I really, you know, no one will give you a sample anymore, it seems. FragranceBuy used to, but I've never been disappointed with their products. I mean, I bought like a lot of stuff from them. Oh, they're pretty easy going. You get the stuff pretty fast. You know, for the most part, there aren't any problems. And if there are, they'll try to make it right. I mean, they're pretty good. Anyways, here we go. Arden Fifth Avenue. Do you know this one? And look at this gorgeous bottle. I think this is supposed to look like a New York skyscraper or something. But this fragrance, be careful, by the way. You got to take it just from the top. I don't know why I thought the whole thing came off. I don't remember the whole thing. I thought the whole thing came off before, you know. Don't ruin your bottle. But this fragrance, oh my gosh, folks. Oh, this fragrance is so stunning. It is so stunning. It is so sophisticated, but even more beautiful than I remember. It seems a little lighter than I remember, but it is so sophisticated. I love this one. I love it, and I really wanted to get that big bottle because, like, this is probably, you know, I buy these things. I'm probably not going to rebuy like a lot of these. You know, they're like for my little collection, my little curios. You know what I mean? Anyways, so this fragrance, it's Lily of the Valley forward, but it's not like, you know, straight Lily of the Valley. It's very posh, upscale, feminine, but not commandingly so. And my little story about this is that through a lot of my life, I've worked as a professional singer. On stages here and there, you know, like I got to work overseas. I got to travel. I lived in other countries, and it was so fun to get to travel and live in other countries. Anyways, I had a tiny bottle of this fragrance, and you only need well, I don't know about now because I haven't had a chance to try it, but you only need a little bit of this one. So this was like a gig fragrance for me. I knew if I just put a couple sprays on, I was good to go, you know, and it can get really sweaty, you know, the lights, it used to be. People probably use, you know, LED now, but this is a long time ago. Anyhow, I wanted to share that with you and tell you that this is a really good gig fragrance. If you ever need to do a gig, maybe Arden Fifth Avenue. It is so sophisticated, yet it's so sweet. It's like, it's just fantastic. It's a boss fragrance, but the kind of boss who's really nice. It's just like, it's so sophisticated. I just can't say enough about this. And I'm so excited to have it in my world again. I still have the tiny one. And I think I had another bottle too. I didn't remember that, but I saw pictures of myself on at a gig in the room that I had. And I think I saw a big bottle of Fifth Avenue on my shelf, and I'm like, what am I seeing? That's so weird because I don't remember that. But anyways, yeah, so Elizabeth Arden Fifth Avenue. Incredible, and takes me back to the past as well, because this was around when I was selling. Also, just, mm, 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 mm. It's smooth and sophisticated. I'm delighted to see that it didn't change for the worse, you know. Not like with anybody famous either, really. I mean, I had a chance to do that with a couple people, but like I wasn't like, you know, like on tour with Mariah Carey or somebody like that. I just did, I did a lot of different kinds of gigs, like where I worked with different bands and different outfits. Like one of the times I worked in Japan, I worked just with a keyboard player, and that was interesting. It was fantastic. It was fantastic and wonderful, but I'll just tell you something really funny about that gig real quick. um, you know, they wanted us to do American pop songs at the time, you know, American pop songs, but it was just me and the piano player, so it was going to be a soft version, you know, of a lot of these American pop songs, right? And I remember like the first night, it was like we performed for 2 different seatings of people. Like there was the first seating for a dinner. It was like we were the dinner music, you know, and but I'm so thankful that I had these unique experiences of getting to go perform and get paid to, you know, travel and perform in other countries. And I'm just going on and on. I'm going to get back to the fragrances because this is why we're here. Okay, here we go. Okay, now I'm going to take you to something I coveted. I've never tried it, but I have one other one from this line. And I adore it. I really love it. And this one, I thought maybe I missed my chance to get it, and then all of a sudden it came back, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna press buy now. And it is absolutely gorgeous. Daliflor from Salvador Dali. That is a famous painting called Woman with the Flower Head from Salvador Dali. I love the box. The presentation is really stunning, you know. And there is the artwork on the cover that the bottle is formed after. I want to also show you the inside of this box. It's kind of, they romance it, and I appreciate that. It's got Dali printed on the inside, and then it's got a little light green inner box. So pretty. So this is the lady with the flower head from Salvador Dali. This is it. Little Salvador Dali there, his signature. I just think this is so stunning. And I was really hoping that I would not like it and not want to use it. You know, I thought, oh, I just want to know what it smells like. And then, you know, I'll have a couple sprays off of it, you know, and then I will, like, you know, just put it on my shelf, because that's what I want. This is like a little sculpture that just has another dimension to it, you know. It's like Yadro, but with perfume inside. Wait a minute. Wait a minute now. Okay, when I smelled this the first time, I sprayed it on my hand. And I immediately was shocked that it really it really didn't smell good. It just smelled like old perfume. Old new perfume. With this like weird ricey kind of smell that I find in old new perfume. Not old perfume. Old perfume smells like old perfume. But now that I spray it again, I can definitely see the pretty side to it. I think maybe and I'm so glad, because I did not want to tell you guys that I just think that fragrance is just like horrible. So I think I'm going to give this one a little time to macerate and see what happens, because and it doesn't matter to me. I don't care. I just want that bottle. That's just so cool to me. So now that I smell it more, though, I think maybe it didn't get very good reviews on Fragrantica, which I don't like to let me, I don't like to let, sway me really, but, sometimes they're right. I don't know. So I'm going to give this another chance, because I do think that I am liking it the more it blooms. So, Daliflor from Salvador Dali. So that was the one that I really thought I did not like. But I only tried it once briefly yesterday, and then I put everything away so that I wouldn't spoil myself to like re-experience it kind of fresh. Okay, at the end of FragranceBuy stuff, a lot of times it's like, well, let me just add a little extra something. And when that comes, a lot of times it's Charlie, like something from Charlie, or something from Cuba. And I used to have, this is my history with this, why I think this is cool, is I used to have a Cuba fragrance, and this one is called Cuba Jungle, right? So there's a fragrance, right? I'll get to that. But I was really interested in this because I had a Cuba something or other like a million years ago. I mean, I feel like they've been around forever. It must be, or someone else was doing this. I don't know. This is what I want, so I can put my regular travel sprays from other companies. I want to be able to travel with this. Because those other sprays, like there's hardly anything you can put them in. I don't want to put them in a little cloth folder. Oh, thanks. That's really protected. Great. But I think that this kind of thing is so useful. And this adorable fragrance is also super useful. People said it smells like J'adore. I think they're right. It smells so sophisticated for this little Cuba. The last one I had was like a really light bergamot thing, which is not uncommon for, little stuff like this. It's great. There's nothing wrong with it. This is sophisticated and beautiful. And, I think the packaging, it doesn't exactly smell, it doesn't really look like the fragrance smells. The fragrance just smells really sophisticated. I would repackage this in something like gold and white, called, like diamond, I don't know, diamond something or other, diamond afternoon, because it's not really night. It's a really fresh and day to night fragrance. Great fragrance. This is even a really good signature fragrance, like J'adore, So yeah, Cuba Jungle with the little zebra on it. Cuba Jungle Zebra. Yeah, so this was my little one that I just added on. Okay, please don't go away. I know it's long, but I really want to share the rest of the stuff with you because there's stuff. Here I go. Okay, this is the one fragrance that I've heard a lot of people talk about and I was so curious about. And it's from a company like I hear about from a lot of you guys. And I was really curious. And it is Mancera Roses Greedy. I have to tell you, look, their presentation is so pretty. Look, you get a little dust cover. I've never seen a company do a dust cover for fragrances before. I mean, it's like they romance it like a handbag, Here, keep it in the dust cover. Okay, so this fragrance I was so excited to get. So excited to get. You know, it's a little pricier than some of these wonderful old ones that I wanted to get again. But they used to be more expensive, you know. But this one I was thrilled to get. And I originally wanted a Montal called Velvet Roses. It was a good price on FragranceBuy or one of the other ones. And that was the one in my cart. I was like, I can get that, okay, a 30 ml. And then I was like, well, you know, I also am curious. I'm also curious about Mancera. Let me go look into Mancera. Turns out they're the same guy. So I thought, well, all right. I'm kind of getting, if I get one fragrance, I'm kind of getting an idea of the perfumery style of two of the fragrances, you know, two of the fragrance lines, both Mancera and Montal. So I was looking around, and when I found this one, I was so excited. Rose is Greedy. It wasn't on my radar because I'm not that into gender neutral fragrances because they lean masculine a lot of times for me. So, but with this one, it said it was a shared fragrance, you know, unisex, whatever. But the reviews said, no, this is very feminine. So I was like, that is all I needed, you know? Okay, that's the one. So this fragrance, it's a masterpiece. It is such a stunningly beautiful feminine fragrance. But I think it only has rose in the mid notes. One big rose in the mid notes and then a bunch of other stuff throughout. So Rose is Greedy. It's not exactly, you know, you expect it to smell, you expect it to have rose in there a few more times, you know, but I love the name. I think it's cheeky. I think it's cute. It was one of the reasons why I bought it. But I feel this is such a light, it's not loud. It's not a loud floral. It has some beautiful rose, but I don't remember what's in it. But to me, except for that big rose in the middle, because I went looking, how many roses are they greedy for? What kind of roses are they greedy for? And, but this has got, it smells more like it's got more fruit in it. And, I mean, it's a fruity floral. I mean, specifically, I think pear. But it is so refined and so feminine and so sophisticated. I absolutely adore this fragrance, Rose is Greedy, and I'm glad that I opted for. By the way, this is a 120 ml instead of that little 30 ml I was gonna get with Montal. Instead, I paid a few more bucks, but I am greedy for Rose is Greedy. I'm thrilled, absolutely thrilled. This is signature scent worthy for me for sure. But I mean, I have a ton of fragrances to wear, so no one really is there. But I think if I want to step out and feel confident in a very feminine, self-assured way, like almost like this cloud of beauty everywhere I go precedes me, because I'm wearing this fragrance, it puts me in that little cloud of, you know. Rose is Greedy from Mancera Eau de Parfum. You guys, this next one, I can't exactly remember when I feel like I sold this one, but I don't exactly remember selling it. I think that it must have been around when I worked behind the counter for Christian Dior in another store, because I was attached to the fragrance counter. So, but I think that's when this one was big at that time. So I was so excited because, okay. Oh my friends, this fragrance Giorgio Red, there is nothing like it. There never was, there is not now that I have ever tried anything like Giorgio Red. It is so unique. It's sexy in a fresh, fizzy way. There's, I believe there's a lot of cherry in the top notes. There's some cherry. There's cherry in it, I believe. Like it's like a dark cherry soda, but not that effervescent. It's still got this really sexy base to it. Now, yesterday when I sprayed this on myself, I have to say I didn't love what it turned into on my skin, but I think that's what's happening now with some of these fragrances. They probably had reformulations, because back when I was around and this fragrance had its heyday, you had to go behind the counter to get it. When you had to go behind the counter to get it, under lock and key, it was, I don't know if it might have been as big or bigger than original Giorgio. Because it like followed and it followed big. And this is a fantastic fragrance. I know some people have said that they think this smells similar to Ciara by Revlon. I love Ciara, I have Ciara. And I remember it from back in the day. It still smells great, by the way, the new formula, I feel. I would say it's in the same family, but I don't think they're close enough for me to say that they're really very alike. They're not close enough. So this fragrance, what I was going to say is, on my skin, I felt that it whatever my skin chemistry was, it didn't get along well with whatever the base notes are now. Which I feel that as fragrance companies reformulate, what's probably going on a lot of times is, I mean, these things, the notes, the accords, the ingredients, a lot of them are just not even, they're not available, it's illegal to use them, and I'm totally cool with that. I think where that suffers most is the base notes. And I think that might be what happened here. And I've been thinking about that phenomenon that I've noticed with some newer fragrance formulations that I think are great. They're still great, but then the base note, the dry down is when the mask comes off and you can tell it's not exactly the same. But with this one, you know what I realized with these is, if you put them on your clothes, then I think that the base notes don't really appear because you're not exactly on the skin, you're on the clothes. So that is how, I love the way it smells out of the bottle and in the air, but on my skin, I don't know what happened. But then I put it on my clothes and I get to have that Giorgio Red experience again. So I'm so thrilled that I got this. This one is another time traveler for me, which was really emotional for me yesterday when I originally opened these. So, Giorgio Red still banging. Okay, this last one is a men's fragrance. This one was around. I sold this one, and also too, what I want to tell you about. Okay, I'll just tell you. It's Paul Sebastian from Paul Sebastian. I did sell this one because I did work in men's fragrance behind the counter too. But my memories of this fragrance go beyond that, because my second job that I worked in the cosmetic industry was in fragrances. And when I was there, Paul Sebastian fragrances came and they had a case at our store. And they had, in men's and women's, and I was in women's fragrances at the time. And I sold design for women. And they were so generous to the workers. If you've ever tried design, it's a lovely light floral women's fragrance. It still smells really good. I mean, I'd like to get another bottle. That's on my list, of fragrances that I used to love that I still want to get again. And fragrances that used to be expensive that are now more affordable. like some of these ones here. You had to come behind the counter to get that from me. Me. But anyways, so Paul Sebastian, at the same time, they came out with this fragrance. And I remember they were really generous. They gave us a lot of these. They gave me a lot of bottles of this, and their other lines, VSOP, and another men's line, women's line, Tribeca. They had Design, Tribeca, and I can't think of what else. But anyways, this fragrance was kind of their anchor fragrance. And yesterday, I don't know what happened. When I don't have a direct association with any person in particular. This fragrance was just a part of my life because I had it, I gave it to people. I don't remember who I gave it to. You know, I just gave it to a lot of people. Anyways, I smelled this yesterday, and I just bawled and bawled and bawled like 4 different times. You know, I cried, and then I got control like 4 times when I smelled this. I don't know exactly why, because it's part of my past. But anyways, I put it on my husband. Okay, I'm okay, I just smelled it. It's fine, it's fine. And it smells fantastic on him. And in fact, it lasted like from early in the day. He couldn't hardly get it off in the shower. And it's still so fantastic. It is so fantastic and beautiful and lightly spicy. It's a gentleman's fragrance. It's not in your face like Polo or Drakkar or, you know, or even what's that one? Aventus. Creed Aventus. That's it's kind of a sharp, it's fantastic. It's a lot like English Laundry London. And those are great fragrances, but they're not this. This is a really great, everyday, understatedly masculine fragrance. It's got this beautiful warmth to it. I don't even remember what's in it, but I feel like there's some soft spices and some musk, and it's just so gently masculine. It's not fruity. It's really nice, and I was thrilled to get it for my husband. And yesterday when I smelled it, it just made me cry. And I don't know why exactly. I don't know why. Maybe because my mom was still alive. Things like that. You know, just the smell of certain things. Maybe because my friends, you know, people that were fun worked behind the counter there. And so, you know, it was always fun to have this interaction and the shenanigans between this counter and that counter. That was one of the things that made it fun. Anyways, though, Paul Sebastian for men, oh my gosh. So my lovely ladies and handsome gent, thank you so much for taking this trip down memory lane with me. Please leave any comments down below that you have about any of these fragrances. You know that I really love to hear that, and so does everybody else, because I think a lot of this, what we have here with all of this, is nostalgia. I know that for me, this was such an incredible nostalgic trip, and I am so thrilled with all of the fragrances. Even the one that I didn't really like the fragrance, I think I might yet get to like it. So I know that I just want the bottle, and I really don't want the fragrance to be something I love. I don't want to use it. I want my little sculpture. Anyways, thanks so much for coming to see me, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!